Now lots of times when you have a solid core door, sometimes those little screws get loose. And if they do and start spinning, you can put the longer ones in. Just make sure that when you put the longer ones in, like see on this type of hinge, this is a 4-inch hinge. You'd only be able to get it on the two here, not these two over here, because those two are too close to the sheetrock. Okay, those two, you have to angle in that way, and then you can put the long screws in there. But that's not going to suck the door up like I want. This will do it actually better. Cracks me up. I've seen some people, oh yeah, just put 2 long screws in there, Joe, and call it good. This will suck it up. It's only going to push it in so far because this is 4 inches metal. You can only deflect that and impregnate that only so far. That's why I take that out and drill this and about right in there. And I'm going to angle it because I want to make sure I don't hit the edge of the stud, right? I want to get it down as low as I can here, but as far over this way as I can. And so that the head doesn't hit here. Get up high enough, but not too close to this one screw. But it's going in at an angle, so it's probably okay. Now I'm only going to be able to push it in so far, depending where the shims are behind the door and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so now I take my 2.5 inch, or you could use 3-inch sheetrock drywall screws, coarse threads. I'm using the impact wrench, the impact drill, to make it easier to suck this right in. Because I'm going to take the head of this screw and indent it into the wood. Maybe a 1/16 to an 1/8. There's no way I can push it in any further than that, right? No matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to push that in any further. So once I get all done, we're going to check the door and see if I fix the sag to this particular door. And if I haven't fixed it 100%, if I want to do it anymore, I can adjust it, but with these hinge knuckles. But I always like to go through this procedure first. Okay. And I see the door. I need to prop the bottom of the door up, you know, just to kind of get it up a little bit. And hopefully I got something here. I got my nail puller. I've got a putty knife, so I'll put the putty knife down so I don't scratch the floor, let's say. And I'll put that under there so I can raise this door up a little bit. If I can. Like that. Now I can look at this, and the hinge is probably pushed up where it needs to be. Okay. See, you don't need anybody to help you. You can start doing all these things on your own. That's perfect. If anything, there we go, right there. I'm going to do the long screw first, and then that'll keep the hinge in place for everything else. And you know, whoever put that in, they use the same hole as before, and it's right on the edge of the stud. And I think what I'm going to do is angle that just a hair, so I get it into the wood a little bit more. Not too much of an angle because I don't want the head to stick out of the face of the hinge. But just enough to grab and make sure that gets tight. Okay. There. there. Boy, it's a good thing I got the impact drill for this, huh? Okay. Well, it still looks like it could go in a little further. I'm afraid that I might twist the head off. I don't know what the deal is with that. Just gonna check this. It looks to be okay. I might not have got it in there. It might have sunk back into the same hole as before. Trying to get this right where it needs to be, like that. And in fact, maybe I can use one of the small screws. There. And I don't like to run those all the way in with my impact drill. I'll tighten them up with my regular screwdriver so I don't spin them. And I can check and see if they're snug, and they are. There. Okay. Now, I did the same thing. I did the same thing for the other ones. Oh, now I have to take my my putty knife out of there before I can close the door. See, no marks on the floor, no nothing. I just used my nail puller. Let's come back inside the house. You're going to see what I see for the first time. I'm just going to hold you. Let's see how much of a gap we got. Look at that. Isn't that nice? See? And I've got that same gap all the way down now, don't I? Because I sucked these two over. You can tell this one's a lot closer right in there. I still have, this is kind of a big gap here, but I've lessened the gap with this being pushed over. Okay? And now, remember before the door was rubbing on the back side of that. We made that determination before. Now see the gap, see how much room we got now? The clearance. See? Got quite a bit of clearance there now, don't we? Almost 1/8 of an inch. And when you close the door all the way, you got about 3/16 there. Now if I wanted to go over further, I'd have to, what would I have to do? Okay, I'd have to take the door back down, take this the whole door down, and leave, we're gonna have, I see these two knuckles right here are attached to the door, right? Okay, and so I take the 3 hinge pins out, I've set this down on the ground, and I take my crescent wrench on this knuckle, and I bend it that way. I take this knuckle, bend it that way. I could bend it 1/16 of an inch. 1/16 of an inch. And that's all I would have to do. I wouldn't have to do anything to these other two. And then when I put the door back in there, guess what? This gap, it would be less. It would be pushed over a little bit more. I'd have a little bit more of a gap here. I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm good. Besides, if I move that over further at this edge, it's going to be up tighter to that. And when I look at this, it's almost touching. That's because whoever installed this years ago, if you were to put a straight edge on it from end to end, this has a bow down here, the door header, okay? And that's why it's almost hitting. So can you see it? If I wanted to tweak this over and push it over there further, this gap would get bigger, this gap would get lower, and chances are it would start rubbing right there. So I can't do that, can I? Oh, I think this door is good. Nice. I got that one off my list. And look at that. I've got a nice clearance, and that's a good clearance to have. That or just a hair bigger, because remember I showed you before with the square, this does not have a bevel on it. This is just perfectly square. And so that's the high, that edge is going to be really close to there, more so than here. You follow me? And so now that I've done my good deed for the day, I'm calling this door good. See, I've got the clearance there, and that's all fine and dandy. And I'm almost touching. See, I'm almost touching right there. Even though there's a big gap there, see, there's probably shims right there. Now that I've sucked that over, I've pushed that over, but it could only go so far. So if I try to do my trick later and tweak these, I'm not going to go any closer because it's almost touching, right? Even though it's not touching there. And see the big gap there? There was a big gap there to begin with, but it's about the same now because I got those two long screws in there. So I've kind of taken this door frame and went, just a bit, depending where the shims are and all that kind of stuff and how tight it is to the 2x4. I mean, there's only so much you're going to be able to do. But, you know, when's the last time you walked up to a front door and you checked out the edge where the hinges were when you walked out the door? Nobody does that. And for my money, I want to see the nice gap there. And, you know, there's only so much you can do with existing doors and frames, okay? And I think I've achieved that on this door. Okay, now I'm not going to show you this door. I'll just show you the very end of this, but I'm gonna do the same thing now to these hinges over here, the same that I showed you over there, because I've got the gap there, and this gap is pretty close, right? I mean, there's still enough, but I figured, hey, since I'm here, I might as well, I got all my stuff out, I might as well do it a little bit better. I get the gap just a hair bigger there, and I get the gap just a hair slightly bigger right there. See how right there? That's not very much, is it? I mean, it's borderline. And because I'm painting, I'm putting another layer of paint on the edge of the door. I'm putting another layer of paint on the door jamb. Granted, that's not very much, but the last thing I want is a year down the road for this thing to start rubbing and stuff, because these are old hinges, and after a while, you get the hinge pins start wearing out a little bit and start moving around, and then your knuckles are worn out on the inside of where the hinge goes, the hinge pin, and the hinge pin gets worn, the knuckles get worn, and then this thing slides over further. And we already see, look how big that gap is. So I know when I put the screws in, this gap is going to lessen. This gap's going to lessen. This gap's going to lessen a little bit. This one not so much. See how close it is there? So I may only put one screw in that one, a double screw and a double screw. Drive those in as far as I did that one. Drive these in as far as I did that one. Drive just one, the top, not the bottom of the hinge. Put one screw in there. Maybe suck that over just a little bit. This one's actually fine. When I tilt up this, it's going to go that way. And see, I got enough room there. See the gap there? It's bigger right there than it is over there. Not by much, but that's going to be resolved too. And I'll show you that next to finalize this particular video.